Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today we're taking a first impressions look at Layers of Fear. This is a first-person horror game that's been in early access for a while. It has finally come out, and I decided that this was a good time to check it out, since obviously with horror games, replaying them again and again throughout an early access period kinda takes away from the final product. So I was waiting for this to get an actual release to take a look at it, but I've heard very good things about it throughout its early access period, so I'm looking forward to giving this a shot. So let's get in here. There's certainly been a bit of a dearth of good horror games in the last couple months.
I know how you must feel. Lost. Alone. Hopeless. You probably deserve it. But even for you, there is still a way. A way to bring it all back. The one precious thing you ever truly desired. Finish it.
Alright, so I guess that's all the setup we get. Now, from what I do know about this game, I believe we are an artist who may or may not be going slowly insane while trying to complete his masterwork. Alright, a little bit of mother murdering there. Nothing to worry about, kids. Some Penumbra-style interaction. Or amnesia for you younger folks. Probably not quite to the same level. Caravaggio, Van Eyck. So the names are scratched out. Presumably this is us, and this is our fiancé. Actually, what was it? Spacebar. Doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, okay, this is one of those things where just... Can you read this? No? I'll make it easier for you. Alright. So is this our grand house? Seath bothering our pest control specialists. So they've been sending pest control to presumably deal with our complaints of rats, but they're probably not actually there. Or the rats are in the walls. Okay, this one I actually can't read. Oh, God. There we go. Put some light on it. Longest... Oh, is this the address? Avenue 7C. Popker. Popkul? Why would you ever put such fancy writing on a dog collar? Do you want me to return your dog, or do you want me to sit here squinting at this collar? Fancy kitchen. Well, it probably was fancy. Figured you'd be up all night, so I made you a little treat. Rembrandt. This is probably from our fiancé. Or we've just walked into somebody else's house. spice pantry, it looks like. We have a zoom, but we don't have a flashlight or a lantern. I'm not sure the time period we're in here. Alright, well, nothing to see in the kitchen, I guess. Is this an electric light meant to look like a lantern? It looks a little too bright otherwise. Wouldn't be an artist if there wasn't paintbrushes absolutely everywhere. Alright, another dark closet. Something rattly on the ground. I suppose we can take this light. I wonder if that rat poison will be important later. We do have a face, though it's rather indistinct. Oh, okay. The mirror is actually rather indistinct. It's dirty. Someone's prosthetic leg is a little too short. Okay, so we're probably gonna need our keys to get in here. That's also us scratched out. Seems like we don't want to remember who we are. I wonder actually, now that we found that, is the reason that we sort of stagger when we walk because he has a prosthesis that's a little too short? You notice there's sort of a bobbing to our movements, but it's especially pronounced on the stairs. Like he's got sort of a short step and then a regular step. Can't see my legs though. Why did that rat sound like a spider? Also, that's clearly a rat. That our, exterminators never found. So we've got a picture of a child covered in a pile of babies. Creepy, like, porcelain babies, it almost looks like. It looks like a shitty rubber body with a porcelain head. Report card. Not doing so hot in school. Sounds like maybe the kid has a physical disability. That's why they were excused from gym class forever. Alright, well, I think we've seen all there is to see around here, so let's try to find our office. I always loved that portrait of our creepy uncle. alas, poor Yorick, she hardly knew ye. I think I broke it. Burned musical notation. Seems like somebody got sick of somebody else playing the piano. Dogs. What is it with portraits of dogs? It seems like one of those things all these fancy houses have. I mean, there's portraits of people too, but it's like people and dogs. Man's man's best portrait. Does one not want to stay open? So is this going to have a bunch of correlation with Portrait of Dorian Gray? I mean, admittedly, there's not actually a lot of stuff that seems to draw inspiration from that. So was it League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where Dorian Gray was one of the members? Perhaps an antagonist? Well, if there was ever a... Sorry, I got distracted. What am I looking at? If there was ever a room that looked like an office, this would probably be it. Or, actually, this would look like something you'd call a study more than an office, I think. Key. What is this creepy, like, furry-faced baby man? This is our ancestor, the Sasquatch. Cousin It. What is that in the middle? Is that a candle holder? Wait, is that Grandma? I was like, it was a pretty short story if you just ate Little Red Riding Hood straight up. Oh, well, there you go. Actually, now I think about it, why wouldn't the wolf have eaten her straight up in the woods instead of, you know, tricking her? Because then it wouldn't be a very good story. Fiance just wants some attention. We're too busy with our master work. You completely lost your goddamn mind. Alright, so it seems that our job as an illustrator is not going so well now that we've become obsessed with dark nightmare fuel. I don't know what the problem is. Fairy tales for children have always been grim. We just sort of watered them down over time. Actually, didn't Little Red Riding Hood get eaten in the original story? Then the woodsman cuts her out of his belly, fills it with stones. Don't wake me up. Can't wake up.
Dumpling all around, dumpling all around, dumpling all around. So funny. Stumbling here and there, stumbling everywhere, and I must declare, I stepped right on my toes, and when she...
It's been some long nights. I mean, this guy must have been a pretty successful artist to have a house like this. No inscription. Well, I guess there's no one to wake up now. There's definitely an air of mystery in this house. Well, our family seems to be entirely absent. Nothing too grim there. Who leaves a fruit bowl in their kid's room? That's kind of weird. Alright, so we got the key. Let's see what's going on downstairs. Maybe we'll find our masterpiece. Though these painting horror kind of setups always remind me of the book Apartment 13? Room 13? Something like that. Basically about an artist who paints gateways to this, like, entropic hell dimension where everything is horrible and rotting. Maybe all the mirrors are broken because they're so useless. This does seem to be our... Ugh. I don't even know what's going on here. A lot of snapped paintbrushes. Ruined by the passion of our fury. A lot of alcohol to fuel that fury. And this must be it. There's certainly not much to it yet, but it'll be the greatest thing we ever created. Lost you, deserve it, finish it. Can I finish it? Grab one of these brushes? Yeah. It's an iron cross down there. Is that a note? Clearly things were not going well with the fiancée before she disappeared. Well, there doesn't seem to be much going on in here. But I'm not sure where we need to go now because I don't see a key or anything. This is not where we were. Am I a stranger in my own home? lost. Just stumbling around. Assassination. Also giant fish. Right then. You look like a Louis. Reach into the choir here, brother. Is that you, Andrew Ryan? And there's that painting again. My initial estimate seems to be right. Assassin, gallows, fish, some guy swinging from a rope. Some throat slitting here, I think. If so, that lady's got a really long arm. Pardon her reach. This looks like a secret. Maybe not. Alright, I guess I'm not going anywhere. Hmm. Five, 4, 8. Thank you, creepy paintings. Let us open our chest of secrets. The past holds back. Wait, the past holds back? That doesn't really make sense. Look
The thought
closer.
alone that the most beautiful piece of art doesn't have my name on it is killing me. So, will you marry me?
It's maybe a little possessive way to declare your love. I want to own you. Also, what is it with deer and creepy things? Do people find deer creepy? Or is it just our tendency to mount their heads on walls that's creepy? Admittedly, not my finest work. The light, the promise of safety. It's goddamn dust mice. No, I was talking about dust mites. You misheard me. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be able to read this one. So this is a letter written by the mother to the son before, or daughter before they were born. Also, it sounds like a musician and an artist. Is that a good match or a bad match? I wonder. Two talented, creative people in very different fields of art. You can see how that would cause friction. You can also see why there was a burnt piano score upstairs. You again? What secrets do you hold behind your slightly lazy eye? This house is an endless maze.
Now, a tiny bit to the left. Yes, just like that. Hold that pose. I want to get all those lovely curves just right.
I think more games need to do the Souls game thing of having dialogue end with just creepy laughs. Pests are taking care of themselves. I think I'm beginning to understand the gravity of our situation. I'm beginning to fear we'll never get to actually paint some art in this game. It's a real shame. Again, an excellent view of this corner outside. In a house with this many windows, they can't all be stunners. Is that you, my love?
Hello. It's about time for us to talk, don't you think? I mean, I've seen you in my house so many times, and yet I could never find the courage to face you directly. Not until now.
Let's try to find out what this crying is all about, and then I think I'll call it for layers of fear. Perhaps we haven't penetrated quite too many layers, but don't want to stumble around forever. The first step usually is the hardest. Hold on a second, we're back in the kitchen. We're locked in the kitchen. That might be important for something. I don't want to look away in case I miss another fruit falling out of this painting, and then immediately rotting. Hold on, I'll be with you in a second. Just want to make sure there's no children in our ovens. You think those are ovens? Or they're just cabinets that look like ovens?
First, I looked for a canvas. Not just any canvas. I had to find a knife. Not one of those bread ones. It needed to be as sharp as a razor. So I used a razor, in fact, and then carefully flayed the skin. Booze helped keep my hand steady.
I mean, what better canvas to use for your perfect work of art than something that's already a perfect work of art itself? Skin so soft yet malleable. Just the slightest hint of a woman's fragrance about your painting. At least at first. So is this a collection of notes? Because that was the note we found earlier. There's a lot of stuff in here. There it is again, that damnable thing. I wonder if this will fill out as we continue. Just a family of damnable hell beasts out for a stroll, their flesh rippling and pooling. Truly a work of art. Well, I guess we won't find out what that crying was about just yet. Save perhaps some flayed skin. Going up. And there it is again. And that does look remarkably like us. Including the walking stick there, is that what I'm seeing? In his hand? A key. So something happened to our dear wife's skin.
Why did you stop? That tune was perfect. Honey, please, just a little longer. At least until I finish painting this one part. Oh, don't make me beg.
The house appears to be on fire. That's a little concerning. I'd fear for my masterpiece if I wasn't so certain that it would be untouched by the flames. This house is very large. Well, I think this is probably enough doors we've opened now. We don't want to go too many layers deep and give away everything. But I will say that even though nothing too dramatic has happened yet, this is one of the few walking simulator type games where I'm actually interested to continue and see where this is going. Because there's a mystery here that's actually seems like it's leading somewhere. Instead of like wandering around for 30 minutes before a jump scare and then nothing for another 30 minutes. There's a good pace to it. It also helps that there's no backtracking since we're just sort of being where we need to be at a given time. So yeah, I'd say this is definitely pretty cool so far. Again, if a lot of walking and not a whole lot of doing isn't your thing, I can see how you wouldn't enjoy this, but as far as these types of horror games go, this certainly does seem to be better than all of the other ones I've covered. And yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. Well, I mean, I kind of know where this goes just from what we've been given so far, or at least I think I know. The game could pull a fast one. But yeah, this is Layers of Fear. It's no longer in early access, it's full release. It's about $20. It's probably about 15 for you States folk. And yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And I'll probably keep wandering and stumbling through it until I find out what's on that masterpiece. But until then, I've been Shadefire. This guy's face is flipped into... I've been Shadefire, and this is Layers of Fear. And I'll see you all next time, after I've completed my masterpiece.